We are with the cast and creators and inspiration of Thank You for Your Service. First of all, thank you for your service. And thank you for your movie, though. I mean, it really was, it's one of those, I saw it about a month ago, but it stuck with me, and I think that's to your guys' credit. I guess let's start with you, sir. I mean, because you're the inspiration for all of this, but what was it like watching your story on screen? And I mean, it's got to be some parts that are a little hard to watch, because the whole thing is, trying not to relive some of this stuff, and here you are forced to relive it for 2 hours.
I think, yeah, it was very emotional for me, both highs and lows. But if I wasn't sitting there sobbing, if I wasn't feeling all those feelings again, then they didn't do their jobs. And every time I watch it, I'm just a mess for probably a good day or two. So, yeah, it's just a credit to how well everybody and these two guys worked on this. So,
is there a certain part that hits you the hardest there on the home front scenes?
Yeah. Most definitely when Sergeant First Class James Doster was killed, and I was supposed to be, he had looked at me 10 minutes prior to that and gave me a smile and told me to take a break, and they left on a patrol without me, and several minutes, they got just outside the fob, and they were hit with an EFP of some sort, and yeah,
it was
tough.
His through the movie he's sort of frozen in time now, and his story will go on. So that's I guess the silver lining in all of this. But Miles, how much did you guys interact in the run up to this? Did you read the book, or did you resent the script? And when did you guys actually start working on the character?
I read the script. That was kind of the introduction to Adam Schumann and the rest of his comrades. Then I read both of Finkel's books, read a couple other books on post-traumatic stress, and then Jay and I went up to North Dakota to meet Adam, and it was, look, I knew that I was talking with a guy that just, a couple of years removed from war, and I know that it's extremely sensitive, as I would be making a movie about anybody's life, let alone somebody who, that's what we're dealing with the worst times in his life and trauma. But look, we only had 2 days together, so I really needed to get some stuff out of him, and Adam was just great. He's been tremendous through this whole process, and for him to give himself over to this process, I don't know many people that would do that.
Yeah. Why did you want to take this role as the next one? Because we loved you in Spectacular Now. Whiplash, oh my God, I mean, come on. Amazing performance. But why was this one a nice next one in your trajectory as, your acting career?
Well, I think, the older you get, hopefully you're handed kind of really, quality projects. And for me, that could be anything from an animated film to a comedy to a drama. I do enjoy parts like this that require a lot, and Jay wrote an incredible script, and I was very intimidated by it at first, and so that's why I think I gravitated towards it.
Is it a challenge? Because I'm watching it just amazed at what you're asked to do just on your face, performance-wise, because you're like doing 2 layers. It's almost, I don't want to say like Madeline, Judy, Vertigo, but you know what I mean. You're doing 2 performances because you're giving your outward performance for your wife, but you also have to project what's going on inside, what he's going through. So how do you tell both at the same time in your face?
Performance-enhancing drugs. No, these guys are. That's what these guys.
That's the secret.
I've heard this. I've heard a couple of guys use that metaphor. Ducks, right? So ducks on the surface, real cool, calm, and collected, and underneath, man, they're just paddling and treading. So, but yeah, that makes for a really complex person. Adam himself is extremely dynamic, and he's not who you would think he would be as whatever cliche or stereotype you would give to an officer coming back from war and all that stuff. Adam is a truly unique individual and somebody that I really admire, and it was, as for an actor, I had so much to work from. So
absolutely. Well, I think you nailed it, sir. I know you. This is your directorial debut, right? You've written some screenplays before, including for American Sniper, which is similar vein, I guess. And it's all Bradley Cooper coming back home and trying to juggle the two. Did you pick up anything from Clint directing-wise off of that one, or what was it like making this debut here, sir?
I picked up a lot from Clint. Clint's a very cool customer, and he really trusts himself. He trusts his instincts, and if he sees something or feels something, he does it. And so I try to stay loose and cool and give everybody a long lunch.
Are we at lunch yet here today yet, or no? This is post lunch.
That's Clint's thing. He gives long lunch, and then they leave early. We didn't leave as early, but I give him the long lunch.
Awesome. And what I really enjoyed about the story was
That's
that
a lie.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
a lie.
Yeah, I'm like, I barely remember eating. It's chow time.
Starved them the whole time.
Yeah.
That was the duck paddling under the surface.
Yeah,
Your
it
was.
body's gone. But no, what I liked about it in terms of like the way you rolled out the script was that it didn't exactly go where you thought it was going to go. You know, you thought, I mean, we lose one of your buddies early in the movie. You think that's what's going to happen to the second guy.
Plot spoiler.
Yeah, oh, sorry. But the other guy who wound up swapping places with him on the bus, you think he's going to go down. The dogfighting sort of his Christopher Walken Russian roulette thing in Deer Hunter, you know. But you think that's where it's going to go, but then you swap places on the bus. Take me into sort of subverting expectations from other similar movies in this vein.
You know, I don't, the most similar movie to this vein, I love Deer Hunter. And, you know, Deer Hunter is a funny movie in that there was no Russian roulette in Vietnam.
Right.
That movie was sort of spit out by a lot of veterans at the time because they were like, this isn't what happened. This isn't anything like Vietnam, and it was a metaphor, you know. And so I definitely embraced the idea of metaphor in this movie. And the challenge of adapting a book, you know, nonfiction book to film is one that, you know, you have an hour and a half, 2 hours, and you have to find a way to weave all these stories together. And oftentimes people look at a film about real life events and they're like, well, that part isn't true, and that part isn't true, and that isn't true. I think the challenge with doing it is making a film about real events means something. Because our lives, if I made a film about my life, it would mean nothing.
Nobody would watch it.
But what is
He's
it
heard the whole
about?
story.
What is
He's
it
like, that
about?
ain't, that's
Gee,
not.
long lunches. Long
Long
lunches.
lunches. There's the title.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
That's the title of your
Long
your
lunches.
memoir. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for your lunches. No, thank you so much for making the movie, though. I guess they're giving me the go home. But I guess just in closing, what do you want people to take away from this, you know? After decades overseas. I mean, we've been fighting these same
overseas, I think that it's time that we start a conversation with veterans. It's time that we understood a little bit more about what they went through, and hopefully this film does that and you know, puts the audience in the front seat. It puts them in the seat of the veteran, walking back into their family and into their homes and into those lives, and how tough that is, and you know, how alien that world is to them when they come home. And maybe it'll allow us to understand them a little bit more and move closer to be able to, you know, have a conversation with them and ask them how their service was rather than just thank them.
Awesome. Well, thanks for the conversation starter, guys. Appreciate it.